Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm sharing a training game that I played on chess.com. I'm going for 1800. I'm so close. Yeah, finally worked my way back. I had a rough last year, let's put it that way, but I think I'm on the upswing finally. Not just in chess, but just like my health had I've been struggling with a stupid condition, but I think it's going to be getting a lot better from here. So, alrighty, let's have a look at this. Can you guys see the screen? Yes. Alright, so it went e4, c6, d4, d5. So we have a Caro-Kann. I like to trade and then play c4. And this is the Panov attack. So we're offering to accept an isolated queen pawn, but in return for that, we get nice easy play with our knights, and our bishop's already open. And oops, yeah, drunk bishop. Yeah, and sometimes you can get some attacks on the king side, and it's just a very dynamic opening, so I like it a lot. Knight to f6, knight c3, knight f3. Yeah, so this e6 move, they're shutting in the bishop, and you might be asking why. Well, it's very complicated stuff. If they play knight c6, knight f3, and you play like this. This follows the Bobby Fischer Max Uwe game in my most 60 memorable games by Bobby Fischer, because after takes, we have this queen b3 move, which attacks knight, attacks pawn. They take here, temporarily defending the knight, wrecks our structure, and then they play e6 to protect the knight. But now we take on b7, you know, and this is complicated stuff. Like they take here, threatening everything. So now that forces us to do this. They take it. We don't even take back. We check to disrupt the king, then maybe take back. And we have this endgame. And I've played this endgame in like 2 or 3 tournaments at this point, and it's a really enjoyable position. Probably for both sides, really. So all of that is to say, like, you don't have to play that way. You can just play e6 and accept that your bishop is trash for a while. I mean, really, they'll probably just fianchetto at some point, or maybe go for e5 later. So knight to f3, knight c6, c takes d5, and knight takes d5. So why did I take? Oh, well, that's easy, because on bishop d3, I don't want them to get this tempo on me like this. And then really I do want my bishop here because I want to be on the Greek diagonal, because I'm not in the mood for spaghetti on the Italian diagonal. All right, so anyway, take, bishop d3, bishop e7. So I thought they would pin me here, and I was really curious if I could sack a pawn. I was definitely thinking about just castling here. I thought this would be pretty interesting. I mean, can I? I don't know. I'm not so sure, actually. I mean, I could play something like this, stop them from castling. They could take this, maybe? I think they can take that. So I'm not sure about this. This seems like black's doing good. Oh, it's the engine. Wow, it says no, white's doing great. Just rook b1. Yeah, I guess the queen is misplaced. So I'm going to run it with the engine now to see if you really can sack this pawn. Like, is castles a real move? It's the best move. Let's go. Yeah, I thought it might be. They shouldn't even take on c3. So let's just say they do. The best move is just rook b1. So cue the rook b1 song. Okay, but here it saves our rook and puts out an open file, so semi-open file. Ooh, and you know what? I actually think this rook's getting ready to go here. I've seen this idea before, and I bet you, let me look down the line a little bit. Are we gonna go rook b5 or something? Come on, where is it? No, I don't see it. I don't see it yet. Oh, I do see rook b3 though. So that's still a thing. So I guess you play like this and you'll have some initiative and comp for the pawn. In my game though, bishop e7, castle, and bishop f6. Okay. Now, this is pretty annoying, the bishop here, and this is a common maneuver in the Panov because, well, let's face it, I have a weak pawn on d4, so why not put your bishop there, leave the knight on d5, blockading my pawn. So I think it's a very good move. And so I just went rook e1 here. And there's definitely some complications. Like, I know you can pretty much blindly play rook e1 in the Panov usually. Like, you're always going to play rook e1. Especially if they're not castled right, because we just pinned the e-pawn. So we might be threatening mean things. Like, if they try to grab the pawn, I think this pin is always a problem. Let's just say, for example, I thought if they go knight takes, bishop takes. I already liked this move because that's just discovery, so that would win material. So they can't really do that. But I thought maybe they could take with the bishop first. So if they do this, then let's take. Yeah, and then after check, you know, I realize they can take this, but then we can take this, right? We take this, and they can't take back because, oops, that's pinned. So that would definitely win the game. So that probably means they can't play knight takes b5. And if they can't play that, let me see what the engine says. Oh, it says it's the best move. It says it's the best move, and that black's slightly better. But they're up a pawn, so we have at least some compensation here. Yeah, it says they should just castle now. Okay. And then a4, attack their knight. And then knight d6. Okay. Yeah, so I guess they could do that. So let me check with the engine, because I feel like they can't do this. Yeah, they can't do this because of knight takes d5 immediately. Knight takes d5 immediately. And if they take with the queen, then we have bishop e4. Ooh, discovery. Yeah. So they would have to go queen d7 or something like that. Just get their queen to safety. Oh, and see the problem? The problem is that now the knight's helping to defend the bishop. Well, guess what? We take it. Okay, and the only thing is they could do desperado with the bishop, but I feel like this is going to be great for us. Like, that was not worth a bishop, what they just did, so. Okay, anyway, I feel like deep diving today. Hope you like that kind of analysis. I'm definitely learning some stuff here. So, I mean, so I played rook e1 just kind of like intuitively knowing that I should be fine. Like, it's never, I shouldn't say never, but it's usually just a good move, so. Okay, so they castled. They did not try to take on d4. Knight e5 now. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I mean, when the bishop's on f6, I really feel uncomfortable about my pawn. And so I decided knight to e5 because it does block the bishop. And if they do take, you know, I'll be more than happy to upgrade my pawn to an e pawn that controls f6, kicks the bishop out, and now we have attacking chances. There's no knight to f6 anymore either. So, like, this would be wonderful. I would say white's better here. Let's see what the engine says. Yep, white's better. Okay, so they can't take it, basically. And if they take with the bishop, then I'm happy with that as well, because I have two bishops and a pawn on e5. So they just can't do that. So I thought knight e5 is a good move. Let's see what the engine suggests. Yeah, it doesn't suggest it. Ooh, yeah, because of the move in the game. So, yeah, so my opponent actually has a little bit of a threat, and I just overlooked it. I overlooked it. I saw it actually, but I didn't think. Yeah, actually, I did know that it was going to be troublesome, but somehow I didn't know what else to do. so I played knight to e4, and this is a misstep because of this move, knight d to b5. Now, why is that such a good move? Well, it attacks my light square bishop. Now, that's our attacking bishop. So, you know, it's not worth having this IQP if we trade him off. I'm just saying. It's like not as good. So I really don't want to lose him. So that means that we have to move him. But at the same time, that opened up an attack on this pawn. And if that pawn gets captured, our knight is getting loose as well. It's like one move I'd like to play is bishop e4. But I was worried about stuff here. Like, what if they just, you know, what if they just take here? Now the knight is hanging. I guess they can't, I mean, it's our turn, but I don't know what to do here. Turns out we should play bishop f4 according to the engine. I'm going to turn the engine off now, though. So I accidentally left it on. All right. So, yeah, this would coordinate our position, protect the knight. Okay, makes some sense. But I don't know. This feels like things are going wrong. I didn't want any part of this. The other move I thought about was bishop e1. I also thought about taking. This is like really lame though. You know, like why I don't want to do this. Like why am I trading my awesome knight on e5 and now I still have the same problem? I mean, what am I going to do? This? I mean, I don't know. And at least they can't win it now, I don't think, because after takes. Can they win it still? Takes. Yeah, they can. Yeah, it just says black is better. Yep. I was going to try some kind of like knight b5, bishop h7, but it doesn't seem to work. So bishop e3 is no good then. Yeah, this is terrible. I don't want to play knight takes c6. Okay, so in this position, what I should do is do a little prophylaxis. I should stop this knight b4 thing. And if I stop it, then they can't easily move their knight and attack the pawn. And also, my light square bishop can remain where it is, or I can go to e4 later anyway. So like even a3 is a good move here. a3, or also bishop e4 right now. And the reason we're moving it now is because we're going to allow knight b4 if they want, because it does literally nothing now, right? Like, you're not attacking my bishop, so why'd you play that? Now I just play a3 and laugh at them. Good job. You know? So those are the two moves I should have did. But instead I played knight to e5, and so I feel like this is definitely where I lost the thread in the middle game. Okay, but it's not over. Bishop e1 by me. Yeah, and here, here the best move might surprise you. If you want to pause your video and guess what the best move for white is according to the engine, go ahead and do so now. Yeah, the best move here is actually rook to e3. And I actually like this a lot. And they're just saying, I mean, first of all, the rook usually comes to e3 in the Panov, or I should say it often does, because now we have rook lift going on. We can attack. But the idea here is that if they take, we can take with our rook, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I think that's good. I think if we take with the queen, don't we have problems now? Because like if they take here, what do we do? Because I don't know. I mean, this is definitely bad. Like, not only do you give up the exchange, but you lose a queen. So you can't take with the rook. And if you take with the pawn, I feel like maybe they just trade and take this. That should be great for black, right? Should be pretty good. So, I don't know. I think that's why you have to take with the rook. But I kind of like it because it's lined up with the queen now. Maybe we can power in d5 at some moment. And this just makes a lot of sense to me. It still discourages, you know, taking the knight in e5. It does a lot of good things for us. So, yeah, rook e3. Rook e3 was the way to play from here. But I didn't know that, and I didn't figure it out. So I went bishop b1, which is my go-to move, but it's not that great here. Because why can't they just take the pawn? And I was indeed worried about this, but I just didn't know what else to do. This also undermines my knight. So I went a3 from here. The knight came back, and now knight g4. So I came up with this. I thought, okay, I lost my pawn, but I at least have some compensation, I think. I do have a lot of things aimed at their king side, and now I'm attacking the bishop on f6. Let's see what the engine says. It says black's better. It says I have no compensation. They should go bishop g5, which I think they do. Yeah, because what else? All right, so I'm going to leave the engine on now while I analyze some of these moves coming up, because I don't want to spend all day. I think we definitely learned some stuff. Okay, I played queen d3. You know, maybe they won't see mate in one. No. I'm trying to provoke a weakness, but g6. Turns out f5 was really good for black here. I didn't see that. f5. Why is that so good for them? So if I go here, the engine says knight b3 is really good. That is pretty annoying, I must say. Rook a2. Now they can trade queens. Now they can even take on c1 if they want. Yeah, they have two bishops. My position looks ridiculous. Yeah, I definitely think that now they've rook d8 with tempo even. Yeah, I definitely could see why that was bad. That knight b3 move, wow, okay. Yeah, I shouldn't let that knight in there. So, queen d3, I missed that knight b3. And it should start with f5 first. Why did they have to play f5? Oh yeah, to stop the mate. To stop the mate with tempo. That's why. It stops the mate with a threat. Well, not really. I could leave my knight there, though, right? I could leave my knight there. Like, if knight b3... Oops. Oh, it's white's turn. It says I should go knight e3. Okay, but what if I went bishop e3? Then knight b3? And same kind of stuff? Yes. Okay, yeah, they're going to trade queens, basically. So knight b3 kind of forces a trade of queens. I went queen d3, g6, and knight to e4 here. Okay, so they traded bishops, but I thought, okay, I get this, and maybe I have something. It doesn't feel like much, though, to be honest. It doesn't seem like I'll be able to keep my knight there forever, and indeed, I don't. And also, my rook had to go to the c file, which doesn't belong there. Yeah, and then they played e5, which I thought was a strong move, because the only bad part of the black position is the bishop, and now he is free, and he's going to come to f5. So I went queen e3 to prepare for that. Bishop f5, bishop a2, takes, f5. So I thought when they played f5 that it might be a mistake, but maybe I'm not right about that. Engine doesn't agree with me. But to me, I started seeing a lot of play in the position. Oh, I remember I blundered here though, because I went here and I was dying to come into here. And I totally forgot that knights move backwards. I just didn't see that. So I jumped in. But man, that's a bummer. Because takes. Yeah, and I was losing here. Yeah, I'm completely lost. I mean, I sacked the exchange out of complete desperation. See what the engine says. It is the best move, but I mean, black's -3. So I did this in order to get this check, and you know, now I've got this pin on the knight. They step into it even more. Okay, but I feel like this pin is nothing because I cannot increase the pressure. I can hold the pin here, but I feel like eventually black can wiggle their way out. Like, why can't they just play rook e8 and, you know, wiggle their way out of this? It doesn't seem like I have anything. So I went rook e3. I did not know what to do. I mean, why can't they? Yeah, engine says rook d8. I was worried about this because, like, that just frees up the queen to go do things. You know, and I don't really want that. Instead of that, they use their rook to do things. Still works. So stopped back rank checkmate. They went here. So now that's annoying. So I went here. Why did I do that? Yeah, that move's bad. Like, that's just lazy. My queen's defending this. Oops. And I blocked it. Now they can take. And I wanted to do this, but then they take the bishop. So that was just a really bad move. Instead of that, I probably should have just gone queen c3. That would attack the rook, attack that. And then maybe they have to go back. That's what I should have did. Instead, I blundered that. I mean, the result of this game is now very amazing to me. Because, yes, they thought a long time here. Now, I have 2 minutes. They're up 6 points of material. Okay, I wanted to resign. And I was actually just saying to myself, like, if I was them, I would just sack the exchange and that's it. Like, the pin's going to go away and then they're just going to ravage me. That's it. And they did do it. But I didn't resign and I'm really glad. So now they have a small threat of, you know, forking me, winning my rook. I saw that though. Yeah, and then I think this is like a blunder, this queen c7. Because they didn't see that after takes, there's just rook b7. And there's no way to defend the knight. You can't defend the knight. So now they lose their knight. Then they start losing pawns. Now I'm like, hey, I'm back in this game. This should be a draw, you know? Symmetrical pawns. He has a more active king. I have a more active rook. Should be a draw. That's the engine. Yep. It's pretty much a draw. Tried to use his active king, but I just kind of waited around. I didn't do anything. Never do anything. Oh, I lied. I did something. I thought this is kind of good, though. Let's see what the engine says. If it likes my plan or not. Oh, it wants h5 right away. Okay. Now it still thinks this is equal. That's what I thought too. And in fact, it should just trade pawns. And maybe I'll even have winning chances. But I thought it's safe to play this way because, okay, they take that pawn, but then I played g4. I thought was good. It is. Then they come here. I could have also taken the pawn though. Like instead of g4, I could also do this now. Because if they take this, then I go there. And that's not going to be good for them. They have to take. Then I take. This is definitely even. So I went g4. I was thinking if they take this way, I'm just fine with that. You know, I could take, and then if they want to push or take, either way, I just take back. It's all just trading. So G4. Yeah, their king's super active, but how will they ever take my pawn? Like, it's not happening. And if they ever even do this, I will take here. And it seems like white's better in that position. So they just start checking me, I think. Yeah, they start checking me a bit. Yeah, I finally go here. So now they can finally win the pawn if they want, but you know, I take their rook. So yeah, so when I came back, finally we had a draw. So I think it was 3 times repetition, but I'm not sure. So that was my Panov game. Let's run the game analysis on it. So I do sometimes have trouble with these middle games, and so I think going through this game and analyzing the middle game a bit was really beneficial. It says I played like a 2300. Yeah, right. Don't think so, but 2 inaccuracies, 3 mistakes. That's how 2300s play. What are they talking about? So let's just click through this a bit. See if our analysis was right for the most part. Yep, rook e1 was fine. So it didn't give me a mark on knight e5, but I definitely don't like knight e5. It says it's good, but I don't like it because of this. I don't like it. So instead of knight e5, next time I should just play something to stop this. I mean, a3 is fine. Bishop e4 makes a lot of sense. So maybe bishop e4 next time. That seems to be what all the strong grandmasters do. I even saw a game where Dinglerin did it. And, I mean, it's a centralized bishop. Why not? Maybe we're putting pressure here as well. Maybe we'll even take the knight at some point. Or maybe we'll play d5. So I kind of like bishop e4. I might analyze some more middle games. And if you don't like bishop e4, at least play a3, right? So that's what I should do. But I played this, allowing this move, and then bishop e1. And here, I really wish I would have played e3, or rook e3. That just makes more sense to me. Okay, continue with it. So that was the 2 main things I got from our analysis. Yeah, and queen d3 here was wrong because of f5 knight b3 stuff, which I just missed. I missed the knight coming into b3. So not a very good middle game by me at all. In fact, I was totally lost this game. Yeah, and that was a huge mistake. I just didn't see the knight going backwards. Just momentary I can't even talk anymore. Momentary lack of judgment. But you don't have to ask me twice to sack the exchange. And I saw this pin. I'm like, well, I don't think this pin's anything, but I have to do something. And I'm just happy that I didn't resign. I was going to resign earlier, but then look what happened. I mean, I played this game terrible. Why would it say 2300? I really think I played like a 1300, I'd say. That's how I feel. I don't feel like I navigated this position at all the way I should be able to. But then, you know, I waited for them to mess up, and they actually did. And wow, did they mess up. I got all these pawns then. And I will give myself credit for holding the draw. Sometimes I go a little too crazy, and I almost did, but I actually did see that this was safe. So I guess if you see that it's safe, you can still do it. Yeah, Yeah, and here I wasn't playing for a win. I was just playing to be annoying, wait for them to mess up. So okay. I hope you enjoyed the analysis, and this is Stacia, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.